If the homeowner will own from the walls in, I don't see why the homeowners, you the manager, are doing the job. There's responsibility of the owner. Call the back master.
Because we're multi-unit, because we're multi-family. We have to be responsible for the building.
No, but the backs are inside, not outside.
They can move. They move from unit to unit.
They go through cracks.
Yeah,
And
I have to protect the building. I have to. I can't say
But when
that's your
you go
problem.
and prep their unit inside, you're not protecting outside, you're protecting the inside of their responsibility.
But what about the people upstairs?
Yeah, I have to. Here's my position is I have to get in. I have to get in there, okay? And I got to look at everything, and I got to stop any problem that can spread. I mean, I just have to. And you guys can tell me about charging and all that stuff. That's fine. Yeah, this has been rough.
I think you need to build that homeowner.
I think billing them and the bed bug preventative is where I'd like to go with this. Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
So I'm going to bill them, you know, what? Yeah, I'd like to do bed bug for the whole
For the
campus.
whole campus.
Yeah, I'll get a
So we
price
need to
on it.
budget it
It's
for
a
next
lot
year.
cheaper. I think it's about $4,000 a year. They would basically probably
Yeah, but
one
you
building
do it
at a month.
maybe 1 month and then.
Yeah,
2
one building a
months,
month.
And 2 months later, they have bed bugs.
But it's better than what's here now, which is nothing.
Hope for the best.
You do one building, actually leave the clubhouse out. So you have, it's 12 buildings, so it's one building a month.
All right, so you have a directive of working on a specific case, right?
Or something.
And you also have a directive to go out and quote for next year's budget about what a campus-wide preventative system would be. So I mean, that deals with the more immediate problem than the long-term one, I think. It's the first time we've really talked about a remedy for this that I remember.
And on the specific case, I'm gonna bill them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a border unit dog inspection. Okay? All right, so then since Bruce is still here, I would like to talk about the grounds. So you guys have gotten a ton of emails, and definitely this is one of my weakest things as a manager. The grounds are tough, and Carol did a better job than I did. I've been reluctant to spend city water. When we started watering in the 100-degree heat, we were burning the grass. You guys all know that we don't have any water from our ditch.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember the year we didn't get any water in the ditch?
No.
There's been
I
at least
can't
one
either.
other year in the 20 years I've been here.
Well, still, it is a flyer. I just wanted to throw that out. I have always seen water in that ditch, you know, and that's like 15 years.
Did you pay dues? Don't we pay dues to use?
I
the
paid
ditch?
dues 2 years in advance.
Because it sounded like last.
We are
time
not
they
going to
did.
lose our rights based on paying dues. I read about that people lose their rights because they forget to pay the dues. I've overpaid. And I spoke to Boyd and he said, "You have a credit." I'm like, "You betcha. We're going to always have credit."
So where's my water?
So that's that.
It's not guaranteed.
So these are the things that
Access
we're
to a
doing now.
water right.
Okay. So there's a couple things. One is, so right now our whole sprinkler system is only through the ditch. There's no city water that goes through it. So if I want to water right now, I do it by hand. What if I could feed the existing sprinkler system with city water? It would save a ton of man hours. So I am going to give you guys next month different pricing for all the different solutions. The city hates the idea.
Yeah, you could contaminate.
They hate it. But there's an air gap solution where I have a big tap that pours city water into the cistern, and then I pump it through the sprinkler system. So there's other short-term things I'm doing. One is that we have 5 buildings that don't have, their faucets don't work. So I have the quote here, but I'm just doing it. And we didn't have everything. I'm fixing all of our faucets, and we're going to manually water. And then there's another issue, a side issue
Wait a
where
minute, how come you got to quote? Moses can't do this? You can't replace a faucet.
he's replaced 2, and the problem is that I want special freeze preventative faucets that where I have to go into units and bust walls open and stuff.
Never had to so far.
Because they
There's
don't.
5 not working, right? It's frozen water pipe.
But like, so on a separate but connected segue, so you know we've been chasing groundwater that comes off the flat roofs, and you know we dealt with it here. See how there's no grass here? but all the roof water was going here, and we dealt with this whole issue.
Yes.
So that's fixed, but now we have that issue here. This is our lowest point on the property, okay? And if you were here, there's a hill here, and then the atrium sends all of its roof water here. So we have terrible water here. There is a city that drain here, but it's not getting to it. Francois, you know about her settling, but it's 304, 204, 104. 104 is the worst. They really have bad settling. And you have documents on that. So I met with two engineers, they're the same engineers that recommended in 2009 what to do. It's looking like an under $10,000 solution to build I'm going to make it an architectural feature of red rock that takes all the water from this slope and from the atrium, takes it in a course to this drain down here. The reason I'm tying into the other issue is while we're dug up, we could build a redundant city water sprinkler system just here in this area. The reason I like that is it's actually not good to be watering here because of the issue with the water here. This whole building settling and the slab is moving. What's happening is you've got a layer of clay here, and when it's super dry in this drought, the clay contracts, and then there's a gap underground. And then when you get a heavy rain, it fills over the gap of clay, and it's taking the slab on this building and it's going like this to it.
It's known as Bentonite.
Yeah,
Boulder is famous for that.
so it's busting up this building. 104 really has it worse. So we could take advantage of that job, and we could do a city sprinkler here. And the reason I like that is it would be automated. I could control it. And also I could limit the amount of water going here. I could actually, like right now, if you look at the sprinkler heads from the farmer's ditch, they're right against the building. And they're actually contributing to the settlement. I wouldn't take away the farmer's ditch sprinkler system, I would build it with them. I think it's your price.
What's the additional cost for that the redundant system?
Probably it'd be about $2,000.
But we haven't had this problem in the past with the old grass burning up and the flowers. You know, why is it that now we have it, but we didn't have it previously?
Well, another thing that I'm going to admit to that was my fault was we had a very dry winter. And what I really should have been doing was watering this winter.
Actually, you should have watered all summer,
Okay, well,
you know. We already know that it hasn't been done, so.
well, I did water all of May. And then when we hit 100 degrees, because we have day crew, I stopped because you're cooking the grass and you're watering over 96.
Couldn't you water when it was cooler, like in the morning or in the evening?
What we used to
I
do,
need
we
to
had the
understand.
grounds come in earlier and leave earlier at night. And actually the water was on, somebody was watering it a little after 7 this morning.
Which was
Yeah.
used to be the 80% of the.
Right.
But you know, if we look at
But
look at
even,
the atrium, how green the
Mariana
grass
and
is, look at
Keeman
Bank
are-
of
Yeah,
Boulder,
he did.
these
yeah.
places around us, every place is really
Everybody's
pretty
green
and
except
Well,
us.
Yeah.
Well,
Except
also,
this.
there's city water on automated systems. So
Well, we're
with
paying
no
for city
labor.
water, aren't we? Our lease don't pay for that.
No,
For
Right
water.
now, no city water goes through our sprinkler system. Listen, I'm not defending my actions. I think I failed on the grounds. And that's your call on what you want to do about that. All I can do is move forward. But you need to understand that the ditch water is the only water that goes through a sprinkler system. We do not get city water through the sprinkler system. So the minute you say city water, it's guys with hoses and sprinklers moving them around.
I would even prefer you do that and keep it green and water the flowers.
Well, that is what we're doing right now.
And flowers really need to be put in. They really need to be put in at all three driveways.
Yeah, 'cause we
It looks
actually-
terrible,
It
you know,
does.
coming in.
The
It
grounds
looks
are terrible.
awful.
We spend a lot of money in the past years on perennials and they're all dead.
So Barney's already admitted to this, guys? Can we
Right,
move
Can I
on?
let's
say
move
one
on.
thing?
If we get flowers, we can
There's,
move on.
there's trees over here on the corner that has big worms or something in cocoons or something that
Yeah.
needs to be taken care of because
Talking
those
about,
trees are dying
Right here.
over on the corner.
yeah, I think that's where,
They're big, they're this long.
are they
It's
on
very
Iris
contagious.
Avenue?
Yes,
Okay, so it's the other side, Barney.
it's
Okay.
on this side right.
Well,
up
this
here.
cottonwood is dying. I have some residents that don't want it taken out. Probably should be taken out. The other question while we're here is, this whole sidewalk berm was grass. We have been weeding it for the last 2 weeks. Here, it's all red rock with, weed. I am recommending that we do that.
With red rock.
Well,
Yeah.
red rock's expensive.
No, I'm just saying red rock, the weeds come up under it. You
Well,
don't
look
need
at,
plastic.
look at the front of 3150, you don't have to decide tonight, but why don't you guys look at the front of 3150 and let me know what you wanna do. I have it all weeded and the soil turned
That stuff's nasty.
red rock.
It is. I know we've had it at homes and it gets weeds up through it after a while and it looks ghetto.
I would say, just take a look at the two different buildings and tell me what you think about the berm.
Okay, let's move on.
Now, wait a minute. You need to move to 3300 in my corner.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. I've been
Your
waiting
corner,
3 years.
Yeah.
What about your corner?
Well, the trees behind 3120 on that too.
I'm not talking about the trees. I'm talking about fixing what it has not been done.
So on the cistern, it's never been cleaned that I can find. So we're cleaning it next week. We're gonna take pictures. I may price a repair of the cistern that is actually an expansion.
So then will we have water to do all this? Once you do that?
Well, I'm gonna plan that we're not gonna have water, but I'm also gonna plan that when we have water, the ditch system works better.
We were told in the spring not to expect any water,
We were.
so, this
I
is
watered
where we
in
are.
May, and then when I hit 100 degrees, I basically was out of my league. The honest truth is I didn't know what to do. When it
Could
hit
have asked
100
me, I would have told you that.
I was getting conflicting
I was telling
reports,
you what to do.
but I probably, on hindsight, I should have hired early morning and late night people earlier in the spring.
Yeah, or just have the regular grounds people coming early, that's all we